Hey people, it is Sunday, February the 2nd, which is otherwise known as Groundhog Day. It is currently 3:57 in the afternoon and about minus 5 degrees Celsius, but feeling more like minus 11 with the wind chill factor. And I'm on the east side of downtown, just crossing Queen Street East, just across from Moss Park. And as you can see, we have some snow coming down on this Groundhog Day. Although according to Wiarton Willie, our groundhog here in Ontario, it looks like we'll be looking forward to an early spring. So hopefully Wiarton Willie is correct about that, even though how do you say his name? Puxafani Phil in the US, in the state of Pennsylvania, says there'll be 6 more weeks of winter. So it looks like we have some disagreeing groundhogs. Punxsutawney Phil, that's it, right? Sometimes talking is hard. So now I'm on George Street and we're heading south. So I thought I'd take a walk around the east side, kind of heading into the Old Town area during the snowfall, but I think I'll make my way to St. James Park because I saw something recently on the news pertaining to the Tiny Tiny Homes project. Whereas you might have seen a video by another Toronto YouTuber, Johnny Strides, where he talked to the founder of Tiny Tiny Homes and had a little tour of one of the homes. But it's come to my attention now that there are a number of those Tiny Tiny Homes that have set up shop in St. James Park, forming like a little community of the homes. So I thought I'd go take a look at that. And the Tiny Tiny Homes are basically a much more durable and sustainable way of living for those who don't have a place to live. Much better than tents, for example. And St. James Park also had quite a few tents set up recently. But it seems that the Tiny Tiny Homes have been catching on somewhat. And you'll see just how tiny they really are once I get to the park. Just waiting for the light here at Richmond Street. This light is always annoyingly long. I think now I'll just go, now that there's no traffic coming. It's been pretty consistently snowy over the last couple of weeks. It seems all the snowfalls have been light though, just a few centimeters at a time. But also we've had quite a lot of below zero temperatures, sort of keeping what little snow that we've been getting on the ground. Just when it starts to melt, all of a sudden the temperature will plunge down below zero again, and maybe we'll get another small snowfall or two. So Toronto has looked a bit more wintry over the last month or so than it often would. Even in the dead of winter, Toronto often looks pretty lacking in snow cover for much of the season. All right, here's Adelaide Street. And I think some of the area residents have brought up some concerns about the tiny, tiny homes. And think that they should be removed from the park. I think there are safety reasons that have been cited. Looks like we have a character here. So there's the park.
Everything you need wants to be the one you are made of. I wanna let you down, even if I could give up everything, if only for your good. Only when I'm here, y'all know where I'm going. No one will be scared, no one will be there. Nothing when I'm gone.
Look at this doofus. Way to go. Well, at least we're getting a free concert while we were waiting for that light. So we're at Jarvis.
I wish I could enjoy myself like that.
Hopefully his rendition of that song won't get me a copyright claim. I have a feeling I'm probably safe though. And the park is looking very white and snowy right now. This is one of the nicest parks downtown, I think. So you can see a few tents over there. Those have been there for quite some time. But it's only more recently that these have popped up over here. You can see a collection of tiny, tiny homes now. Robert Gourlay, banished from Upper Canada in 1819. So we'll just do a walk by here. I'll try not to snoop around too much. You can see how tiny they are, but they're surprisingly functional on the inside. And vastly superior, I would say, to living in a tent. They have heating. They have a proper place to lie down. It's dry. Storage. And electricity, powered by propane. So who knows if more of these tiny, tiny homes will come and be added to this little community here. You can still hear that guy singing over there. So here's St. James Cathedral. Hello. Hello. It's all right.
Hey, Dexter, what are you barking at? Hey.
Guess the dog doesn't want to be recorded. It's a dingus dog. Lots of people out with the dog today. All in all, not a bad Groundhog Day. Let's hope Wyerton Willie is right, though. I would very much like a early spring. We'll just pretend that Punxsutawney Phil is drunk and didn't know what the heck he was saying. Alright, now I'm crossing Church Street as we make our way west along King Street. I wasn't scared when that dog ran up on me, but some other people might have been, you know, like maybe a small child or someone who has a fear of dogs would probably have been quite frightened by that. St. James Park is not a dog park. And technically you shouldn't be just letting your dog run free around the park like that. Here's the King Edward Hotel. quite grand. If you continue west, you'll head right through the heart of the financial district, but this is Toronto Street. This is always a street that I enjoy checking out, even though it's only one short block. It does have a nice atmosphere and some grandeur to it. Toronto's namesake street. If you look at old historical photos, though, it looked even better before they tore down some of the older buildings and replaced them with more modern ones, such as here. It was made up of much more of this sort of thing. But there's still a few of these older buildings remaining. And it has this nice terminating view looking south with the King Edward. Not sure what all these construction vehicles are for here. I know there's a proposal to develop a new tower right on the corner here, but I think that's nowhere close to beginning. I think they'll be preserving this older building and building a very tall new tower, as you can see, 80 stories. But this is my favorite older building here on Toronto Street. It's quite a substantial building for the time it was built. I wonder if there's a plaque or something on the building that will give you some details about it. I don't see one. Oh, maybe there is. Yes, I do see one. Let's go see what it says. The Excelsior Life Building, 1915. Designed by E.J. Lennox. I didn't realize that. That's the same architect who designed Casa Loma and Old City Hall. And the Stewart Building also on College Street. So this person designed several of my favorite older buildings in the city. Let's say in 1915, an 11-story building such as that was definitely one of the taller ones in the city at that time. Right, here's Adelaide Street. Quite a lot of traffic for a Sunday, but I guess that's nothing new in Toronto. Let's get another look at a sliver of that building. There's Victoria Street. Looks like the snow is letting up. Maybe after today that early spring will start to kick in. Don't let us down, Wyerton Willie. And this beautiful older building is getting a sprucing up by the looks of it. I just noticed this in another recent walk. So quickly the scaffolding just flew up. It's another old historic building. That one's beautiful too. Not as tall, but it has quite a presence. Let's check out the Adelaide Courtyard. Now that we're at Yonge Street. So look north. There's an entrance just up ahead into the Adelaide Courtyard. There was also an entrance from Adelaide Street that we walked past. Right. Imagine what it was like walking around the city back in the days of the Model T. I was living in Toronto for quite a few years before I realized that this was here. I felt like I discovered some unknown treasure here, but apparently it's a well-used courtyard by office workers in the area. I like how it's surrounded by buildings of all sorts of sizes, shapes, and ages. Modern, historic, tall, short, mid-rise. And got places to sit. And there's also a patio here, which is popular in the warm months of the year. There's usually music playing in here also. And there are several fountains which unfortunately never seem to be working whenever I happen to come here in the summer. There's the way to get back over to Adelaide Street. So definitely a neat little spot downtown if you want to get away from all the street noise. Or sit down and enjoy your beverage or your sandwich on your break. So you can get out down to King Street going that way. Of course, Yonge Street is back that way. And Victoria Street is through here. Sure I don't slip. And now we're going back south again. Just walking down the middle of the street. Korean style cuisine. Not just Korean, it's Korean style. All right, cross King again. I guess we haven't really crossed King yet. So now we're officially crossing King. All right, I'll take us down to Colburn Street. So down there is Brooksea Park and the St. Lawrence Market neighborhood. And here we see the other side of the King Road Hotel. It seems like the snow has completely stopped now. PJ O'Brien Irish Pub. If Wyerton Willie is right, maybe by the time St. Patrick's Day comes around, it'll be quite nice and spring-like. Lovely old block of historic buildings here. This is the new head office of Google here in Canada, or at least in Toronto or Southern Ontario. I know they have an office building in Kitchener-Waterloo as well. And there's Piano. I've heard good things about their food. Apparently the pasta is quite good. They have a few locations around the city. And here's Church Street. Again. I just sort of went all over the place in this walk. I think my main destination was just to check out the tiny homes at St. James Park and take in some of the snowfall and whatever else I thought was worth checking out. But I think maybe I'll wrap up the walk here. So I hope you enjoyed the Groundhog Day walk during a light snowfall, which unfortunately didn't last the entire walk, but it was nice for a while. And we checked out those tiny homes in St. James Park. So leave a comment down below if you enjoyed, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. And I just noticed we'll get an awesome view of the Sky Tower as it continues to rise there. It will eventually be far taller than the other building right beside it that it's about to overtake in height. Future tallest building in Canada. But anyway, as I was saying, thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.